Right on the crest, the high point of that, where those cedar trees are. My name is Jay Platt, and I am the manager of what we call Platt Cattle Company, LLC. It's a family-owned operation, myself, my wife, and two married sons. I think it's become a tougher and a tougher business. There are just a host of different regulatory burdens that consume your time as you deal with them that I think should be addressed. I am not against trade. I think that America has always been the world's greatest trading nation, and she always will be. But when you talk about trade, I think it has to be reciprocal in nature, which when you look at our trade deficits, whether it's beef under NAFTA or manufactured goods, we run these terrible deficits. Now we're into NAFTA for nearly 25 years. When you do a post-mortem examination, the jobs have failed to materialize, and in particularly with the cattle business, there has been a cumulative deficit, trade deficit in beef and live cattle to the tune of $32 billion during that time period. So have exports increased? Most certainly they have. But what USDA and the media will not tell us is that imports have increased at a faster rate than have the exports. So today, roughly 17% of our domestic beef consumption is imported beef. Other nations do not have the same health and regulatory standards that we do. According to a study done by USDA, 75% of the TB cases in the United States, bovine TB, I should clarify that, originated in Mexico. I am in favor of bilateral as opposed to multilateral trade agreements. I would like to see NAFTA go away as a multilateral agreement. I would like to see it go away as an appendage to the WTO as part of a negotiated trade agreement bilaterally with Mexico. I would like to see those issues dealt with, that the tuberculosis, until Mexico cleans up its act, so to speak, with TB and with brucellosis, it should not be allowed to export live cattle to the United States. I mentioned to you that 17% of our domestic consumption is actually imported in the form of live cattle or fresh meat. I think we could make that up, but we would have to change our policies. We've had policies, for example, that have driven ranchers off of federal lands in the West. And we'll get these cattle out of here as we brand them. We'll go south with them. It's an intellectually invigorating business, which I enjoy. I'm sticking with it. I'll never retire. NAFTA or no NAFTA.